Okay, here we go. Getting you set. Another really interesting couple of races coming your way. These are all Kentucky Derby prep races this weekend, so you have to start paying attention to these runners. Two races this weekend, and of course, both 20-point qualifying races. Let's go to Tampa Bay Downs first, and we'll check in with the Sam F. Davis. All right, in this particular race, going to go a mile and a 16th, Saturday at Tampa Bay Downs. Race number 11 on the card. 20 horses in the field. Confessional, Epic Desire, the Puma, there's some speed up to the inside. Game for it, might even be some speed. O'Selly, Renegade, Wayne's Law, Max Capacity. Dr. Kapoor also figures in here in terms of being a pace factor. Dr. Kapoor should break for the lead and should have some company. Look at these fractions for this runner. Look at those, a respectable 6 furlongs to run second, then go 7 furlongs, very respectable, to win by 2. Then goes to the Kentucky Jockey Club, that stakes there, that cup. And that's a grade 2 event, showing speed. Not really all that fast, but I think they only have one way to go, and that's to the front end. And I don't think they have enough speed to steal away, because they should have some company. Confessional, very, very nice fractions, going 7 furlongs both times out to break the maiden and in the optional claiming event. So you'd like to think they'll be forwardly placed. Then there's Epic Desire, who doesn't have enough speed to control, but I think Epic Desire will be in a spot to try to stalk that pace, sitting just off of it, now second off the layoff, and they'll be in a good spot. And their conditioning obviously has improved as well. So now we're looking at runners that might be able to make some noise from off the pace. There are 2 maidens in here, extremely impressive, right? You have a very expensive purchase in Renegade there with Todd Pletcher. Runner has been looking really good from off the pace and been going a route of ground the last 2 times out. Obviously figures now after the freshening will be making the move with Irad. Probably won't be as far back as they've been maybe in the previous 2. They might try to get a little bit closer. We'll see if that helps. Then there's O'Selly, who was also referenced in a stakes race a couple weeks back, but ended up going in a maiden race on the card there at the fairgrounds. Nice move from off the pace. Fraction's really not that fast, and so able to make up some ground there. I think they might get a bit more to run at coming up on Saturday, but we'll see just exactly, where they are early on in the race. So now you're in a situation here where you're like, okay, what do we want to do? We think we have decent, not blazing fractions up front, but decent pace up front. We have 2 horses that we know like to run from off the pace. So we're going to go with one of those 2. And we're going to stay consistent because we picked O'Selly to run in that stake at the fairgrounds a couple of weeks back, and they instead ran in the maiden race and didn't win. But I just like the way they were moving. I like their progression. I think they win this race. I don't know if they're useful down the line. I just think O'Selly wins this race on Saturday and will get decent value in the process. All right? Then we swing right on back to the West Coast, and we take a look at the Robert B. Lewis Stakes. Saturday, Santa Anita. Your distance here is 1 mile. Obviously, 3-year-olds, 20 points coming back at you if you win this one. Bob Baffert will send out 3 runners, and they're all intriguing in one way or another. We'll start by taking a look at what's happening with part of his pace factor. Desert Gate is the speed in here. You see what they did there in the American Pharoah. Now, they eventually got run down by another runner in here, but my point is, this runner likes to be forwardly placed. If you let any Bob Baffert horse get the lead, usually you're done when that happens. Now, here's the thing that's going to make it interesting. You need a Huckleberry. Doug O'Neill is definitely the Huckleberry on the West Coast, and Emiseo Jaramillo is a very assertive rider. If he wants to get the lead, he's kind of like Paco. You're not going to get the lead from him. He's like Irad Ortiz. You're not getting the lead if he wants the lead. But Juan Hernandez does a really good job of being assertive, and he wants the lead. So this is going to be interesting. I think these 2 will have to throw down early because they are the controlling speed. And then there's the horse that actually did run Desert Gate down in the American Pharoah, and that's Intrepido for Jeff Mullins. A horse did not run well in the Breeders' Cup, so now needs that freshening. I don't know how good this horse is, but he's already proven himself at the distance, and he's already scored in a grade 1. So He's definitely dangerous in the mix here, and I think he's going to figure from off the pace. The question is he ready to go off of the freshening? And then you go to the rules. A few things I learned early on. I know they're like silly rules, but players, we understand this. Anytime Bob Baffert has 2 horses in a race, what do? You always take the bigger price and see what happens. So, you know what? I think it's a good idea here to take that bigger price and see if it works out. And I think this horse will get the setup. And I think this horse is bred for this, and I think this is what they bought this horse for. Now, the horse has been on the turf a couple of times, but Plutarch has a great closing kick. He's coming back from the freshening. He's always kind of in the mix. Now, most of his good performances come on the turf course. But the thing he did in the American Pharoah, making up ground on that particular day, I think is what he's going to be doing coming up on Saturday. He'll have a bit more to run at, just a tiny bit a better setup. And I think at 4-1, he represents value for us in this race. I don't know if we'll get that post time, but I still think that horse represents value. So Ocelli in the Sam F. Davis, Plutarch in the Robert B. Lewis. Those are your 2 Kentucky Derby prep races coming up this week. Winners will earn 20 points. Every single race, we're just trying to kind of put the picture together, what we believe will be the Kentucky Derby field, pace scenario, top horses, and then who we're going to pick. We got some time for that, but we're looking for horses to kind of fit those bills. All right, that's going to do it for us here on Horse Race Bets. In the meantime, in between time, and until next time, I'm Ken Rudolph. Good luck and enjoy whatever you're into.